Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe. I'm a Forbes contributor covering social entrepreneurship and impact investing. Our guests today are Aman Cooper, the Chief Marketing Officer for the Magic Bus Ticketing, and also Wycliffe Onyango, who is the Chief Financial Officer for Magic Bus Ticketing. And I apologize for messing that up. But Wycliffe, Aman, we're so thrilled to have you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Devin. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Wycliffe, you're doing this work in your hometown. So I want you just to take a minute and tell us what you're doing.
So basically, Magic Bus Ticketing is an offline app that enables commuters to book their buses using basic mobile phones. What we do is we use USSD shortcode to enable commuters to text to check where their bus is, to text to book the bus, and to text to pay using mobile money. So basically, that the reason why we chose offline app instead of online is because internet is very expensive in sub-Saharan Africa, and almost 70% of the population use these buses. In Kenya, we call them matatu. So most people use these buses, and Magic Bus is bringing dignity, affordability, and convenience to the commuters around sub-Saharan Africa.
It really is kind of exciting, but Aman, maybe you would just tell us a little bit about why this is so necessary. What are the problems with the public transportation in Nairobi and elsewhere that make this app useful?
Yeah, well, our team is from all different countries, from India, from Congo, from Kenya, from the US. And, throughout all of our different experiences, we've lived and seen this problem firsthand. And so across Africa, and really in places where there's informal transportation, there's just a lot of uncertainty in the system. So you have the problems of not knowing exactly when the bus will come. There's a lot of time that is wasted and that is spent, as well as, not knowing the fares. So one of the things that we want to do through Magic Bus is really provide certainty in the system, and so that people can know actually when the bus is coming. And this just really helps them be able to plan their day, be more productive. And, Magic Bus really is going to be able to have such a larger impact on the environment, on job creation, access to water, healthcare, jobs, education, healthcare, all of those sorts of things that in a lot of cities there's the problem with the infrastructure. And so we're really excited to start working towards those goals.
Well, you very recently, were announced as the winners of the Hult Prize for this year. And that was a big deal. The person who announces that every year is Bill Clinton. President Bill Clinton. And Wycliffe, let's just start with you. What did you think about having former President Bill Clinton announce that you were the winner? What was that like?
It was great. It was unbelievable. But the moment he announced Magic Bus, I don't think I remember the other ones that followed it. But it was this is it. We've been aiming for this for a long time. We've been working as a team with the rest of the 5 contestants who are there, who are very good friends. We built a strong family. So they were even there cheering for us. And that's one thing that's great about the Hult Prize. People see each other as friends, people who are working together. And for us to walk on that stage and actually receive the prize, it was really great. And we are privileged to work on that. And also it was a great revelation when we stood there. We're okay, we've receive the platform. Now the challenge begins. It's let's actually deliver what we promised the judges we are going to do, what we promised the people we are going to do. And that's what we are going to do now.
That's great. Now, Aman, how did you feel when President Clinton announced that you were the winner?
I mean, like Wycliffe said, there's a lot of excitement. It was also really inspiring, you know, to stand up there next to President Bill Clinton, who's created such large-scale impact across the globe, and just for him to recognize Magic Bus as an idea that, you know, is going to be able to change the world and be able to have huge impact was really phenomenal and a really great moment.
Yeah. Well, something you will bring to the rest of the sure.
Definitely.
So, Wycliffe, let's ask you a little bit about how you guys came up with this idea.
So initially, we started the Magic Bus Hult Prize always, and this year the challenge was to come up with
Wycliffe, I apologize. I'm going to ask you to pause for just a moment and ask both of you to turn the volume on your speakers down, just to make sure that we don't get an echo. And then I'll ask you to start over, Wycliffe, with that, responding to that question. I apologize for that.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. So basically, Hult Prize happens every year, and this year when they brought the challenge of can we come up with a business plan that can better connect people in crowded urban spaces to goods, services, and other opportunities. We actually came together on a dinner table here at Alham College, and we actually was like, guys, what do you want to work on? And then my teammate, Leslie, who is the CEO now, came up with transportation. And then we've lived in different countries. Son is from India, I'm from Kenya, Emmanuel is from USA, Leslie is from Congo. So we came up, what actually challenges do we face in our countries? And the first idea we came up with was to come up with more modern buses that have access to ICT and better commuting, comfortable commuting. But actually, when we competed in the college round, we didn't actually pass through. We failed in the college round. And there's a team that won, that went to the regionals. So when we failed, and this is like a great lesson that I would like other people to learn from us, is like we never gave up. So we actually applied with that idea to the regionals, which is the next round of Hult Prize competition. So we got accepted to the Boston region, and through online, when we applied online, and we were among the 58 contestants, 58 teams. So when we were reiterating our idea, so we saw like it's not actually very scalable, and it's not going to impact the many people that we want it to impact. So that's why we read this Harvard Business Review that said transportation is really a logistics problem. So then we decided like, hey guys, what do we actually do now? That's why we decided to solve the systematic problem in transportation sector. That's why we proposed that figure out how these buses can know the demands along the route, can connect to the commuters, and that's why we came up with mobile-based ticketing service. And then we decided like, what do the commuters actually need? So that's when they don't have access to internet. We want to like develop offline. So the initial idea of Magic Bus, we initially started with Magic Bus, which is a bus system. And then we added the word ticketing next to it. So it became Magic Bus ticketing. And then we applied to the Boston region. There were 58 teams, Ivy League teams. And it's like, the great thing about Hult Prize is accept everyone from the higher in education system. So we won the regionals. We were one of the number first among the 58 teams, and we won fortunately we won the final competition, and here we are.
Well, Aman, I want to ask you about the big, hairy, audacious goal for the Hult Prize this year, which was to help 1 million people double their income. That's a huge, huge goal. It doesn't obviously connect to transportation, to what you're doing. Help us draw the connection. Why did you win when you're not increasing incomes directly?
Well, Devin, that's a great question, and I'm glad that you asked that. I think one of the things that's really beneficial about our solution, not only is it highly scalable, but what we're doing is, we're creating the connection so that the buses know the demand and that we're connecting commuters and buses better. And really, basically what we've done and what we've piloted and tested is that by helping make this connection, we can actually reduce the time that people spend waiting for both commuters and bus drivers. And by doing that, for the bus drivers, we will be able to increase the number of trips that they're making and actually double their income. And on the other hand, for the commuters, by providing them access to the information, they're actually able to save their income by having that information.
And it sounded to me like, from what you told me in advance, that they can actually save a lot of money relative to their earnings.
Yeah, they can. They can save a large portion of their income based on what they would be using on transportation costs that are unknown. They're actually able to save a large portion of that with Magic Bus.
So how is that accomplished? Are they simply not taking buses that are more expensive, or do they get better leverage? What's pushing the price down?
Well, the great thing about Magic Bus is that we're empowering commuters with the decision to actually choose their transportation method and how much is affordable for them. So really, we're giving people the power of choice.
I see. And so how is that? So I'm on the streets of Nairobi. I'm going to work. How does it work that I'm able to save money? Walk us through the steps. What did I do before? What do I do now?
So before, if you're a commuter in Nairobi, you will go to the bus stop and just wait until the right bus comes along to pick you up. And as you're standing there waiting, you hope that there's a bus that comes that's not full. Because oftentimes buses will wait at the main terminal to get full because they don't know the demand along the route. So that means that, if you're in the middle of the route, the bus is going to pass by and it's already full of passengers. So that causes a lot of excess waiting time. So by using our texting system, the commuters are able to compare their fares before they actually get on the bus. And that's going to enable them to save a lot of their income.
So how do they compare the fares?
So they get walked through a menu system, and we provide them information about the different buses and the ETA of the buses and the fares.
I see. So then they could choose to pay more if it's coming sooner or something, or they can choose to wait and pay less.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, we really want to empower everyone in the system to have a more efficient public transportation, because that's really the way that we're going to have millions of people accessing the better jobs, accessing healthcare and education that also can contribute to increasing their incomes.
Now, Wycliffe, we ran a pilot, and that's all you've done, but you've run a pilot with several thousand people involved. Tell us how that went, what you learned, what you've changed, what it proved.
Yeah, actually, our pilots worked really great to our wildest expectation. For example, like we had many users who used our system more than what we imagined. We have many buses. In Kenya, buses are divided in cooperatives, each cooperative having about 100 buses each. We've had many cooperatives interested in us, and we've had many commuters interested in us as well. And that's the bigger chunk, because if the commuter sees the value for your service, the buses will definitely follow up. And actually, when they see the advantage to our services, like actually we are enabling them to save time. Time is crucial to them. They can spend more time with their family and stuff. And the other side is they can actually save income, because we are actually not working against the market forces where the buses, we standardize fare, but actually the buses set their prices. And these prices that they set, we relay the information to the commuters. So the commuters can be able to know, like, this bus comes in this estimated amount of time, and it charges amount of income. So you can choose from that. And giving the commuter the ability to choose and giving them control of their time and income is actually what made our pilot so successful. And just to add on to that, our business is a win-win solution for both commuters and the buses, and actually that's why our pilot was more successful, and our business we hope is gonna be very successful as well.
No, good. Aman, now that you're best friends with Bill Clinton, you are famous. You are famous, and people around the world look up to you as a role model. Who do you look up to as a role model?
I think that's a really good question. I would definitely say that one of the people who's inspired me the most and influenced my life a lot is someone named Laurie Strand. And Laurie Strand really showed me the value of kindness and compassion towards people. And so Laurie was one of those people that would always talk to, if it was the cashier or the waiter, or she just really wasn't afraid to engage people in conversations. And she would always look for, what are their hopes and dreams and find a way to encourage them. And Laurie actually met my dad on an airplane. And 9 years later, even though Laurie passed away from breast cancer, her daughter is still one of my closest friends. And that would have never happened if she hadn't had the courage and the willingness to just reach out to those people around her. And so she's really inspired with me about how just really the power of kindness, and you never know who's around you, who you can encourage. And so I think that's a really great thing that I've brought into a lot of the way that I go about my life.
Well, kindness is such a key principle, and I think that helps to drive social entrepreneurship. Wycliffe, you talked about the group's passion and persisting after you didn't win the college level competition and reapplying online. I'm wondering why you felt so compelled to do this. You could have gone about your lives. You could have finished college and gone to Wall Street and got jobs and made a fortune. Why persist in building magic bus ticketing?
Basically, that's a very great question. The reason why we persist in doing this is because we are one of the lucky ones. For example, I'm from Kenya, Liz is from Congo, Sonny is from India. We are like one of the few lucky people who actually got scholarship to study abroad because we got we got access to the right opportunities. And the reason why most people don't make it is not because they're bright and stuff, but because they don't have access to these opportunities. If you lose time, if you lose income, you don't have the access to opportunities. And to us, going to Wall Street is equally good because we earn a lot of money, but we can actually make money by doing good. And this good to us is actually creating access to opportunities for people back home, for people in sub-Saharan Africa, to people in other parts of the country. That's why we felt like these people need us. We have the right skill to deliver, and that's why we persisted.
That's great. I appreciate that. Now, Aman, I want to ask you for what we call an impact hack, a tip that would help us to do more good in the world. Certainly, you're doing good. We'd like to learn from you. What's your impact hack?
I think throughout this process of, this journey to the Hult Prize and the experiences I've had up until this point, I think one of the things that's been most impactful for me is actually to make time for the things that bring you life. So when you are spending time recharging your batteries, then you're actually able to have more impact than you even initially imagined, because then you're giving from your time, your energy, and your efforts from a place of fullness and abundance. And this actually allows you to actually pour into others and to uplift others in a much more impactful way. So that would be something that I would say is a really useful thing that served me so far.
Great, that's wonderful. Well, I want to thank you both for coming today. I appreciate your time. I want to congratulate you again. Before you leave, though, Wycliffe, maybe you could just take a minute and tell people how they can learn more about Magic Bucks ticketing and how they can connect with you too personally.
So basically, the best way to learn about Magic Bus ticketing is to go through our website, magicbusticketing.com. And also you can follow us on Facebook, which is Magic Bus Ticketing, and also Twitter and Instagram. Those are the best way to learn about us. Feel free to connect to us anytime you want, and we have a very high response rate. So we'll respond, we'll connect you, and we also encourage other people. We've been helped along the way, and we would like to replicate that to someone else. So feel free to reach out to us.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you very much for being with us today, and I congratulate you on your Hult Prize victory.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Devin.
All righty, let's do some good.